Hey, I have something I'd like you to seriously consider. And please don't stop listening just because it seems I'm asking or stating something that has already been widely debated. So if I told you something like they are planning to take him out, or they are the ones who are actually running the government or pulling the strings, who would you assume I'm talking about? Who is they? Would you list maybe one of a number of three-letter agencies, a particular country or regime, maybe the wealthy elites around the world, the Treasury Department, a political party, or any other single entity you might think of as having such power and control? I surmise that it's very likely you might agree that it's hard to confidently boil it down to a singular answer. You might argue that it's an ideology, or a carefully coordinated effort among many different agencies, powerful individuals, or the like. So here's the first question I'll ask that starts us down a path you likely haven't considered. Okay, can you recall any group of people of appreciable size who seem so like-minded, well-coordinated, ideologically aligned, and highly motivated, albeit in many cases, seemingly blindly following some ideology like we see today? I'm talking about rigid beliefs which are so counter to what you believe that you find it impossible to find within them any common ground? Okay, try to remove politics from your mind for a second for this one. Do you find it strange that nobody can seem to identify the single source, whether it be a person, an agency, etc.? I'd challenge you to identify any group of people so perfectly aligned in terms of values, beliefs, or behavior without being able to identify the source of that alignment. It might be a club, a denomination, a company, or any number of organizations. It might be a common influence of a particular leader. But my guess is that you would quickly be able to name a single person or organization to which they are aligned. Okay, so now I'll ask you this. Could the single source that is they simply be Satan? Now, many of you just thought to yourself, well, of course it's Satan. We're fighting a spiritual battle. Many of you may wish you were in this cartoon so you could lovingly share some scripture with me about this spiritual wrestling match. But here's where you have to get honest. If the answer, Satan, is so obvious, why wasn't Satan your first answer? Now, I obviously don't know who they is or are, but why wouldn't Satan be the obvious answer? You may be among those like myself who believe in God and likewise believe the devil is real, cunning, and in the business of destruction. And you probably have your own personal image of what heaven is and how the future will unfold according to what you've learned from the Bible or other influences. Still, regardless of how strong your faith is, I'm guessing it's still a challenge to grasp hold of anything you can't experience through all or at least most of your physical senses. Face it, we're talking about a spiritual being here that we don't have the ability to fully conceive. I'm not trying to make claims I can't prove, only sharing some thoughts and asking questions. Hey, if nothing else, I hope this may have gotten you to think a little differently and realize we don't have the answers. Regardless, it doesn't mean we shouldn't keep seeking. I'll leave you with this. Stay on your toes, and stay off the toes of others until yours ache enough with concern you just can't help it. Thanks so much for listening.